皆さんどうもごきげんよう。クレディニキです。本日もお一人語学部復唱する編ということで、英単語の方やっていきたいと思います。17. Tack. Tack. They took a different tack from the one they had originally decided on. Standstill. Standstill. Traffic back in the city has come to a complete standstill. Extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial. The scientists believe that they may have once been extraterrestrial life on Mars. Consolidate. Consolidate. Managing your debt can be easier if you consolidate everything into a single monthly payment. Invariably. She invariably eats out, so everyone was surprised when she brought her lunch to work. Prevalence. The prevalence of drinking has decreased among young people. Populace. The general populace of that country is unhappy with the current political leadership. Glamorous. Glamorous. Fame and fortune is not always glamorous as it looks on TV. Stoke. His calm reaction only stoked her anger even further. Blushing. Blushing. She found some old military rations in her grandfather's garage. Deceptive. This mushroom seems to be edible, but looks are deceptive. Reminisce. Reminisce. They reminisce about high school day together at your reunion. Stalemate. The trade talks reach a stalemate and have not progressed since. Agitate. Agitate. The group has been agitating for new tax laws to be passed. Entail. Entail. Any kind of investment entails some amount of risk. Detour. Detour. I had to take a detour because of a traffic accident. Milestone. Milestone. The opening of this plant is an important milestone in the history of our company. Reclaim. Reclaim. He reclaimed the title of the top swimmer at the latest competition. Transparent. Transparent. Protesters are demanding the government be more transparent about spending. Dissolution. The dissolution of the NGO surprised the local community. Barren. Barren. It is hard to imagine that the area was once a barren desert. Occupant. All of the occupants of the apartment building were asked to leave. Land. Land. She landed a job with a good salary. Onlooker. Onlooker. Many onlookers gathered on the beach to see the beach world. Thermal. Thermal. The human body converts food into thermal energy through metabolic processes. Rocket. Rocket. There's no need for you to make a rocket like that. Humane. Their aim is to run a humane animal sanctuary. Withhold. Withhold. The information was withheld for security reasons. Obsessive. Obsessive. She is obsessive about the clearness of her home. Proposition. Proposition. Although they made attractive proposition, the other company rejected it. Scrutinize. Scrutinize. The scientists scrutinize a report for any possible errors. Containment. Containment. The containment of the fire was a top priority for all the firefighters. Distressing. Distressing. The video of the plane crash was very distressing to watch. Impair. Impair. Alcohol impairs our quick judgment. Resurrect. Resurrect. Talks of peace collapsed and yet to be resurrected. Discontent. Discontent. There was widespread discontent among the staff about low wages. Loot. Loot. Some demonstrators began to loot the stores. Conspiracy. Conspiracy. Many people seem to believe that particular conspiracy. Lousy. Lousy. The rating for that restaurant are low because of the lousy service. Legislature. Legislature. The provincial legislature passed a new law regarding health services. Interrogation. Interrogation. The interrogation of the man lasted for several hours. Itchy. Itchy. Her wall socks are making her feet very itchy. Scheme. Our new financial scheme is based on careful research and development. Vocalization. Make sure to respond to vocalizations your baby makes. Observance. The sudden observance of cassette tape came as a surprise to many. Preferential. They give their customers preferential treatment at the shop. Pesky. The pesky fly kept bothering her while she was trying to give her speech. Janitor. All our children always say good morning to the janitor. Pendulum. In the country, the pendulum is now swinging from internationalism to isolationism. Perimeter. A security guard patrols the perimeter of the house constantly. Room. The deadline to turn thesis rooms cross every day. Respiratory. Device provides breathing support for patients with respiratory illnesses. State of the art. The museum's state-of-the-art security system makes it almost impossible to steal works of art. Assimilate. Not everyone is able to assimilate a new culture. Refurbish. The couple refurbished their whole house in the past year. Conglomerate. They discussed the regulation of financial conglomerates. Simulate. The researchers simulated a breakdown of society in the experiment. Doom. Everyone thought she was doomed to failure when she studied her own business. Stockpile. It was important to have a stockpile of supplies for earthquakes. Inconsequential. The change of government had an inconsequential effect on economy. Vibrant. After he spent years in a boring drawdown, the vibrant still seems very exciting. Eyewitness. The police are looking for eyewitnesses of the crime. Commodity. Oil is one of the world's most sought after commodities. Notorious. Police were in a panic after the notorious criminal managed to escape from prison. Shot. His team has a good shot at winning the championship. Emigrate. Her grandparents emigrated to Brazil. Cede. The army had to cede land to the enemies. Degrade. The constant exposure to sunlight degraded the color of the chairs. Extremist. The police arrested several extremists who were planning a terrorist attack. Execute. We will need a minimum of the 3 people to execute this plan effectively. Long-lasting. That company sells long-lasting mascara. There is also waterproof. Reside. The problem resides in the ability to be quiet when needed. Empowered. The judge is empowered to sentence people to life in prison. Hallmark. Attention to detail is a hallmark of a great web designer. Squarely. We must face and deal with the issues squarely. Parameter. We have to work within the parameters of the budget. Weird. She wields the power to give everyone a raise. Epidemic. The flu epidemic has gotten so severe that some schools have temporarily closed. Perilous. The journey across the ocean remains perilous to this day. Predisposed. These mice are genetically predisposed to cancer. Sovereign. In 1804, Haiti gained independence from France and declared itself a sovereign nation. Hardscrabble. They had great difficulty farming the hardscrabble land. Impersonal. Some people do not want to work for large impersonal corporations. Beset. The team was beset with injuries this year, so their poor record is not surprising. Trespass. It is illegal to trespass on private property in most cases. Quip. She quipped that she would rather go to the dentist than another boring building. Fort. Baking things like cakes and cookies is definitely not a fort. Foolproof. foolproof. They came up with a foolproof plan to rob the bank. Far-fetched. Far-fetched. The once far-fetched idea of treatment's reverse aging may become reality. Whether. The bridge without a hurricane with only some small damage to the school building. Eerie. The forest feels eerie when you walk through it tonight. Paul. She had to pawn her watch collection to pay her rent. Esoteric. He's interested in studying and understanding esoteric philosophical debates. Despicable. Racial discrimination is absolutely despicable and should not be tolerated. Scavenge. Seagulls can often be found scavenging for food near the beach. Shroud. The reasons behind his disappearance are shrouded in mystery. Infighting. Discussion has made a real progress because of the parties infighting. Laureate. Only to know was the first ever laureate of the Nobel Peace Prize. Squeak. The ball squeaked when the dog bit into it. Calm. I felt some qualms about accepting the money. Psychic. Your physical condition will affect your psychic state. Full-fledged. After his training ends, he will be a full-fledged soldier. Reimburse. I will reimburse you for the cost of gas if you take me to the airport. Philanthropy. She was awarded for all her hard work in philanthropy. Unilateral. She made a unilateral decision to shut down the company without consulting with any employees. Commonplace. It is now commonplace to see people using smartphones. They must domesticate. Dogs and cats were domesticated thousands of years ago. Polytheistic. People here believe in polytheistic religion. Concur. Everyone seems to concur that tax should not be raised. Idiosyncratic. The pianist has an idiosyncratic playing style. Tenure. She received tenure at university. Graffiti. The board was sprayed with graffiti. Intrusive. She has always struggled to deal with the intrusive thought. Mimicry. Parrots are species of bird with particularly impressive mimicry skills. Cougher. The aggressive tax system has filled the coffer of the government. Phenomenal. The book was a phenomenal success, and it allowed him to pass through writing full-time. Bizarre. Publishers were worried that bizarre story would only appeal to the audience. Ignominious. They suffered an ignominious defeat against a low-ranking team. Fraternity. The community center aims to create an atmosphere of fraternity and inclusiveness among all local residents. Serene. He enjoys taking walks through the serene forest behind his house. Part 2, mid-18. Temper with. It looks like someone has tampered with a lock on your garage door. Buckle down. It is time to buckle down and get back to work. Moreover, the government bored over changing the age of retirement for years. Boiled down to. Whether you get a promotion or not boils down to how much effort you put in. Crack down on. The mayor promised to crack down on the city's growing drug problem. Crop up. Problems have been cropping up since the start of this trip. Tip off. She tipped off the press as they were at the meeting to take place. Pen out. Things did not pan out for him, and he lost a match. Climb up. After she entered the room, she climbed up and could not speak a word. Hop on. His sister always harps on about the time she spent teaching in Thailand. Pine for. These hot days make me pine for autumn. Chime in. The interview was less interesting because the host kept chiming in with unnecessary comments. Tap into. It is about time we tap into the growing young leadership. Beef up, beef up. The priest beefed up security around the station. Egon. They acted on her until she finally jumped into the pool. Scrape by. His family is barely scraping by, even with everyone working. Blow away. He was blown away by the news that Queen had died suddenly, drowned out. The train noise drowned out his voice. Bank on. Don't bank on her coming to the party this weekend. Rub off on. His passion for books has rubbed off on all his friends. Dote on. My mother dotes on the cats. Rather off. Her son can rattle off stats about almost every Major League Baseball player. On up. He owned up to having broken the grass. Shut out. He had to shell out $4,000 to get his car repaired. Peter out. Public attention to this issue petered out. Eke out. Kids eking out a living by doing several part-time jobs. Passed down. The storage has been spent for generations. Bottled up. Before asking for money, she bottled up mother by complaining her cooking. Dispense with. The major dispensed with all formalities when he announced about the news to the generals. Do up. Her mother does up the house every year for Halloween. Live down. He will never live down the time he accidentally bit into soap. Level with. I level with you. The company is going bankrupt. Down now. It dawned on me why she said so at that time. Shake off. I have not been able to shake off the cord for months. I cannot vouch for their pizza since I have not tried it, but their pasta is great. Rifle through. She rifles through her purse to find the keys. Head off. It is now too late to completely head off climate change. Polish off. They polished off 3 bottles of wine. Rain in. Every airline struggled throwing in fuel spending. Bow out. He bowed out when his health made it difficult to continue as a chairman. Cast off. The company aspires to cast off its image as a traditional sales company. Scoot over so that your sister can sit down with you. Fizzle out. The project fizzled out as everyone lost confidence in its feasibility. Rope in. The app ropes in new users by offering a great sign-up bonus. Patch up. Sometimes you cannot patch up a relationship no matter how hard you try. Drift off. She drifted off during the meeting, so she missed some of the discussion. Act up. The printer always seems to act up just when I need the most. Stumble on. To stumble on the Darfur Cafe while exploring the area around her hotel. Weed out. This law is aimed at weeding out illegal immigrants. Fork out. It is ridiculous to fork out so much money on such cheaply made clothes. Whip up. She whipped up a quick soup for her family to enjoy. Fend off. The man struggled to fend off the accusation that he was a thief. Jockey for. Those companies are jockeying for smartphone users' growing attention. Pull off. The team pulled off a win despite a weak start to the game. Farm out. They could never develop that game alone, so they farmed out some of the work. Simmer down. You should go to your room until you simmer down a bit. Poke around. He hired a private investigator to poke around in his wife's affairs. Taper off. Car sales have begun to taper off in recent months. Write off. Write off. Don't write off the team just yet, as there are still many games left in the season. Pick off. Pick off. A lion picks off his prey with skill and precision. Brought out. Brought out. The thick fog blotted out a view of the ocean. Run up. Run up. She ran up a credit card bill, buying luxury bags on a trip to the US. Barge in. Don't barge in on people when they're having a private conversation, please. Wriggle out of. Wriggle out of. She tried to wriggle out of a promise to help him move. Ease up. Ease up. The driving instructor told him he needed to ease up on the accelerator. Bear down on. Bear down on. With a storm bearing down on the city, they decided to cancel the event. Carve up. The territory was once carved up by the European powers. Ball out. Her coach bowled her out for missing the final shot of the game. Bottle up. She tensed to bottle up her emotions. He got tension for 2 weeks for goofing off in class. Dwell on. Dwell on. Even if you dwell on the past, it is not going to solve anything. Dish out. She has a reputation for dishing out strict punishments to cheaters. Rouse up. Rouse up. She did not want to rouse up the chance to impress the potential employees in the interview. Nose around. The police started nosing around about the incident. Come by. Parts repair all the elevators can be heard to come by. Rail against. The townspeople rail against the decision to close the public park. Crank out. Crank out. That mystery author is cranking out masterpiece after masterpiece these days. Hang back. Hang back. She hung back and waited for her friends to catch up with her. Piece together. Piece together. They pieced a few clues together and discovered the truth. Swear by. Swear by. His mother swears by her homemade lantern challenge for getting things out of clothes. Praying for. Praying for. I'm going to pray for the scholarship. Chew out. She was chewed out by her father for missing her curfew. Threw away. Threw away. Threw away. He threw away his saving on gambling. Wolf down. Wolf down. He wolfed down his breakfast before running out the door. Dole out. Dole out. He doled out chocolate to the children. Spur on. Spur on. The musicians were spurred on by the cheers of their friends. Hanker down. Hanker down. Residents were asked to hanker down at home until the storm passed. Bogged down. Bogged down. We got bogged down with a new project. Snap out of. Snap out of. Snap out of it and get back to work right now. Boil over. Boil over. Her anger finally boiled over when another student put gum in her hair. Duck out. Deck out. He was impressed when he saw his girlfriend decked out in her suit. Breathe in. The owner is strict about working hours but breathes in whenever he feels like it. Throw on. Throw on. I have not settled on a gift for him yet. Sound out. Sound out. You better sound out your parents to see what they think of your plan. Bolt through. Bolt through. A paramedic bolts through the crowd to get to the injured men. Lay out. The report lays out a new project. Factor in. Factor in. If you factor in estimated maintenance costs, you are losing money on the property. Pin down. Pin down. The police could not manage to pin down who the arsonist was. Lauren. Lauren. She rolled in late and not even apologized to the manager. Hold on. Hold on. He holds down a full-time job as a single parent. 4-3. 4-3. Her plans to go skating fell through because of the rain. Stamp out. Stamp out. Despite his electoral promises, he failed to stamp out crime. Throw out. Throw out. I threw out my bag trying to move the desk. Pass A of SB. Pass A of SB. The merchant pass the item of the new one. Bear out. Bear out. Pass theories are borne out by various facts. Come down on. Come down on. The teacher came down hard on him for serving in class. Pray up. Pray up. She prayed up her repeated translation experience in the interview. Zero in on. Zero in on. A writing coach can help you zero in on the main parts in your writing style. Barring. 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 He barred in on the competition to ask him where the keys were. Toy with. Toy with. I've been toying with the idea of moving to Taiwan to teach English. Wind up. Wind up. The meeting should wind up by 11 a.m. and then we can go to lunch. Rack up. He racked up the debt and went into bankruptcy. Pitch in. The whole community pitched in to house these stranger people. Host around. Host around. They were hosting around while the teacher was away. Gang up on. Gang up on. It is common for children to gang up on anyone who they feel is different. Wind down. Wind down. It does not look like the world is going to wind down anytime soon. Make off with. Make off with. The thieves made off with millions of dollars worth of art fresh out. We spent a year fleshing out a plan. Leap through. Leap through. A tornado leapt through the area, killing several people in the process. Bowl over. Bowl over. I was bowled over by the wonderful performance. Squeak by. Squeak by. The test was very hard, but I squeaked by. Cash in on. Cash in on. The company cashed on in the popularity of the IP by partnering with many other companies. Rally around. Rally around. Members of the community rallied around the family that lost their home in the fire. Let on. Let on. Please don't let on, you know that. Lean on. Lean on. Many organizations are leaning on the government to support more green initiatives. Come around. Come around. After the discussion, she came around and agreed with us. Unit 19. Strike on. She struck on the great idea to market a new comic to young people. Coming for. The restaurant came in for a lot of criticism for using only frozen ingredients. Let up. Let up. The rain is probably not going to let up until tomorrow morning. Pluck up. Pluck up. He plucked up the courage to ask his girlfriend to marry him. Blow on. Blow on. She hated the city at first, but now it is growing on her. Sail through. Sail through. He sailed through all the interviews, but ended up failing the skills test. Firing. The grape of brains firing until the burn stopped. Leap out. Only one painting really leap out at him at the gallery. Don't kick up a fuss, something that can be changed. Be put up on. Be put up on. She does not let herself be put up on by her co-workers. Smack off. Smack off. Everything about the new government smacks of corruption and lies. Roll out. Roll out. They rolled out a new line of cosmetics just in time for the holiday season. Riot. Riot. The dog flew at her before biting her stomach and arm. Rebel out. Rebel out. The accusations rolled up the journalist for simply doing her job, or uncalled for. Frown on. Frown on. Its boss frowns on the employees leaving the building for their lunch break. She was dropped into watching her sister's kids on Friday night. Setback. Setback. The poor wizard has set back construction by several weeks. Put across. Put across. He puts across a positive image, but is actually a very negative person. Dig into. Dig into. Detective dug into the man's past and learned that he had changed his name. Wash over. Wash over. Sadness washed over her when she had the news of her grandmother's passing. Talk off. If you chalk off their supply to weapons, we can still win. Pass along. She just wants to coast along and enjoy life as it comes. Go out. The boxers went at each other, and after the match was called off. She was hauled off to the local police station for questioning. Fend for oneself. Fend for oneself. The flat victims had to fend for themselves. Root out. Root out. The mayor promised to root out the corruption. Mastering on. Larger companies are mastering on the market now and pushing out smaller competition. Cop out. Cop out. After all, you are just copying out. Mirabout. Mirabout. People milled about in the lobby before the graduation ceremony started. Key up. Key up. The announcer keyed up the audience before the performers came on stage. Play along. Play along. She was forced to play along with the boss's idea, even though she was against it. Bargain on. Bargain on. Nobody bargained on a storm damaging a stadium before the championships. Falling with. Falling with. She fell in with a bad crowd in her teens. Limber up. Limber up. The coach asked her to limber up for the second half of the game. Dip into. He had to dip into his siblings to pay his medical bills. Tide over. Tide over. You'll have to tide yourself over with snacks until we get home. Settle up. Settle up. I'll pay the bill now, and we can settle up later. Kick in. My medicine is finally starting to kick in, so I feel a bit better. Hunger for. After years spent working at an office job, she hungered for adventure. Jerk A into B. He was dragged into going to the concert by his 2 children. Ride out. Ride out. The mayor managed to ride out several scandals and be re-elected. Buy off. He believes that both can be bought off. Rip off. Rip off. Shops in that area is infamous for ripping off tourists. Take off. Take off. Her knitting business never did manage to take off, even though she is a great crafter. Kick around. Kick around. He is still kicking around a few ideas for his next film. Hail from. She originally hails from Denmark, but has been living in Portugal for most of her life. Boot out. The bartender had to boot out an individual who was harassing his customers. Get back at. Get back at. She thought up several ways to get back her brother for eating her cookies. Gloss over. The country's history books gloss over the violent acts of the regime. Rush out. Rush out. He rushed out the server for giving him the wrong order. Stake out. Stake out. The thieves staked out the house they planned on robbing later that week. Hem in. His car was hemmed in by several police cars. Smooth over. Smooth over. I tried to smooth over the relationship. Iron out. Iron out. We still need to iron out the details, such as which hotel we will book for the event. Not off. He nodded off in the middle of the exam and was not able to finish it. Flare up. The fire flared up as the wind grew stronger in the area. Palm off. Palm off. The fake painting was pumped up as original Picasso. Tack on. This CD has a bonus track tacked on at the end. Hinge on. Hinge on. Our success hinges on the success of the negotiation with the bank. Pour over. Pour over. He poured over the magazine, trying to learn everything he could about his favorite idol. Hold up. The lava turned up in the mountains for a few weeks. Should know. You'll eventually burn out if you keep churning out articles at pace. Read through. Read through. The woman lived through the book to see if she buy it. Trip up. Trip up. There was a question to rip up in the exam. Rule out. Brought out. He could not help but blurt out his feelings despite the poor timing. Nailed down. Nailed down. After long negotiations, they nailed down the agreement. Tear into. She tore into her partner for breaking her favorite vase. Jump up. They jumped up to excuse the judgment with the accident. Knuckle down. It's time was to knuckle down to solving the problem. Wrap up. The media wrapped up her story about the discovery. Spot off. Spot off. He has been spotting off nonsense ever since he got here. Scrimp on. She always scrapes on food so she can spend more money on books. Wrap up. Wrap up. He started working on a new album after wrapping up a long tour. Shrug off. He shrugged off his doctor's advice and continued smoking. Sideways. She sided with her mother in a parent's argument most of the time. Drag on. As the war dragged on, more soldiers became homesick. Ramp up. We need to ramp up production of masks to meet demand. Shy away from. She shies away from being too critical in her film reviews. Chip in. They all chipped in to help her pay for surgery. Strike up. He struck up the conversation with the man while waiting for a bath. Fire away. If you have any questions, just fire away. Fan out. The search and rescue team planned out through the forest to find the child. Bail out. The state has a program to bail out failing businesses. Cave in. He caved in and let his children have their own computers. Wear off. The two candidates will square off next week in a live debate. Crack up. The whole room cracked up over jokes about the mayor. Choke up. The whole room choked up with people trying to rape the event. Meet out. A severe punishment was meted out to the leader of the crime. Clog up. The roads out of the city were clogged up with traffic. Whisked away. He whisked away around home without any support from family. Jot down. I jot down an email address so we could keep in touch. Rain to. The coach ruled relating to the players for getting so many foolish penalties. Stand in for. Jessica is sick, so I was hoping you could stand in for her at the meeting. Fill up. His afternoon plans got filled up by the fall weather. Filled out. The singer was letting out his old hits on stage. Spruce up. He spruced himself up for the ceremony. Mother three. The course was difficult for him, but he muttered through somehow. Snuff out. The government tried to snuff out the democratic protest. Pick up on. He has always been good at picking up on small details. Cheer over. Medical staff rushed onto the field when the player keeled over. Bunch up. They bunched up for more after the power went out. Go through with. We have decided to go through with downsizing the company. Ease off. After night 3, the pain eased off a lot. Load up on. They loaded up on snug before the long drive. Chip away at. After years of chipping away at the debt, he had finally paid it all off. Float around. Bad rumors are floating around about politicians. Drag out. They dragged out the negotiations for as long as possible. Roll back. The store rolled back their prices for Christmas sale. Creep in. Mistake started to creep in once he sped up his writing to meet the deadline. Drum up. The city is running a campaign to drum up support for the new rail line. Skirt around. You cannot skirt around your problem for any longer. Shift through. The reporter sifted through the pictures she had taken at the demonstration. From A out of B. From A out of B. He finally bombed the truth out of his parents about his missing games. Square up. I'll scale with a beer later. Wide away. They whiled away the afternoon sitting in front of a fireplace. Tower over. She feels that classical composers tower over today's musicians. Rake in. The surrounding businesses have been raking in profits ever since the museum opened. Lead up to. Several small events will be held leading up to the main celebration. Back out. Their largest sponsor backed out, so they had to cancel the music festival. Head up. He heads up the largest animal shelter in the whole city. Tailored. Our shop caters to customers of all different backgrounds. Push forward. Citizens are pushing for the government to raise the minimum wage. Snap up. He snapped out all the copies of his favorite action figures available at the store. Mark up. The prices of many products are being marked up due to inflation. Dumb down. The movie has been criticized for dumbing down the book's complex ideas. Squeeze in. The doctor squeezed me in during his lunch hour. Mid-20. Throw in. The salesperson threw in a set of 3 headphones for my purchase. Lag behind. The country lags behind neighboring countries in the field of technology. You should shoot for 30 minutes of walking a day. Passed over. He was passed over for promotion, so he deserved one. Descend on. Thousands of tourists descended on the area to see the cherry blossoms. Sink in. It took several minutes for the beating of her words to sink in. Bubble over. The kids bubbled over with excitement when the character came onto the stage. Branch out. The company branched out into online sales. Spice up. You can spice up your life by trying a new hobby. Trade off. Her voice trailed off as she realized no one was listening to her. Team off. He was fired for skimming off some of the profits of the sales he made. Brim over. Her heart brimmed over with joy when her baby laughed for the first time. Strike off. The bus driver struck off the nails on the wrist as the passengers arrived. Whisk away. The server whisked away the menu before she had a chance to look at it. Settle for. He was running out of savings, so he settled for the first job he could find. Flunk out. Although she went to college, she flunked out after 1 year. Paper over. We cannot solve the problems by papering it over. Hike up. With food costs going up, the store's only option is to hike up prices. Wash out. The stains on my shirt will not wash out. Suck up to. She only got a promotion because she sucked up to the boss. Dash off. I dashed off a message to him. Talk back. She looked up as she choked back tears. Laugh off. The construction company agreed to wrap up several $1,000. Nibble out. She has been nibbling out the savings ever since she lost her job. Walk out on. The students' behavior was so bad, their teacher worked out on them. Held out for a larger raise and eventually got it. Draw in. This film drew me in from the first scene. Follow through. He will need more funding if he wants to follow through with his plan. Math off. She got in trouble for mathing off to a teacher. Stole away. The family stowed away in a cargo ship to escape their country. Bundle up, or you will catch a cold. Stock up. She soaked up the atmosphere of the night market in Taiwan. Keep after, keep after. My wife keeps after me to go on a diet. Keep up, keep up. After being cooped up in a car for hours, the kids were really bored. Crawl back, crawl back. The company is making plans to crawl back customers. Gain on, gain on. He began to gain on the front runner. Hold out on, hold out on. Don't hold out on me. Tell me what she said. Tell me what she said. Flip out. Flip out. I felt flipped out when I told him that I quit school. Get in on. Get in on. Many companies are trying to get in on that market. Doubling. Doubling. He doubled in piano but gave up after a few months. Knuckle under. Knuckle under. They do not knuckle under to any threat. Take two. I took him to when I first saw him. Sitting for. The secretary is telling for the managing director in the meeting. Pipe down. Pipe down. The teacher told the students they need to pipe down if they want to live on time. Scratch out. Scratch out. The mistakes were scratched out and corrected. Pack up. Pack up. This song will certainly back them up. Smooth down. I smoothed down the surface with sandpaper and painted it. Thin out. Thin out. You need to thin out some old branches. Talk down. There's no need to talk down your accomplishments during a job interview. Shove around. Shove around. He's always shoving me around and finding my fault. Blur out. Blur out. Music bled out in the CD store. Drown on. Draw on. The lecturer ran on for hours. Good for. She always reads through the same pocket team even though they never win. Pack off. Pack off. She packed her daughter off to school and went to work. Sponge off. Sponge off. She got a job and stopped sponging off us. Get away with. Get away with. The boy thinks he can get away with being lazy. Shove off. Shove off. She told me to shove off her for a while. Stir up. Stir up. They are stirring up trouble, denying access to young people. Reckon on. I do not reckon their help at all. Spin out. The reporters are trying to spin out the discussion because they have nothing else to talk about. Chase up. Chase up. Would you mind chasing up the clients about those files I need? Front for. Front for. That noodle shop fronts for a criminal organization. Duck out. During the meeting, she ducked out to answer an important call. Phone over. Phone over. That pop idol has gotten used to people falling over him all the time. Right on. The dog's high-pitched bark really grates on my nerve. Tail off. The economic boom is slowly beginning to tail off. Rig up. Rig up. The hikers rigged up a shelter using the tree branches and leaves. Stave off. Stave off. She staved off her hunger, eating a snack few hours after breakfast. Let up on. Let up on. His parents told him he should let up on his kids a bit. Wiped out. The volcanic eruption wiped out all of the city. Usher in. Usher in. Development of the smartphone ushered in a new technological era. Sort out. Sort out. We managed to sort out all our problems. Freeze out. Freeze out. The company has been freezing out its overseas businesses. Strike down. Strike down. The Supreme Court struck down the law, saying it was unconstitutional. Wear off. Wear off. After her initial enthusiasm wore off, she stopped going to piano lessons. Take on. We cannot afford to take on monsters. Break down. Break down. She finally broke down and told the truth. Take up. Take up. The doctor advised him to take up some sports. Pass up. You shouldn't pass up the chance to go to Cambodia for free. Turn to. He turned to alcohol to relieve stress. John. He draws on his experience as a lawyer to give people advice. Stick around. Let's stick around and see what happens next. Abide by. He was disqualified from chess tournament for failure to abide by the rule. Weighing. He had experience with e-commerce, so she asked him to weigh in his opinion. Glance off. The ball glanced off my glove and rolled to center field. Rake off. He was raking off profits from suppliers. Take in. We took a walk down the beach, taking in the beautiful sunset. Play down. Some countries try to break down the impact of global warming. Box up. I boxed up all the magazines and put them in the closet. Bring up. I brought up the topic of marriage with him. Blow up. My father often blows up me for no reason. Put up. Nothing appears on the screen when I boot up my computer. Chip off. I have to chip off the old paint first. Trip over. I tripped over the curb and fell down on my face. Crouch down. She crouched down and spoke to the boy. Breathe in. The scene fades in on me sitting in the cockpit of a spaceship. Filter out. The complex application instructions filter out applicants with poor attention to detail. Beat up. The lover beat him up and took his bed. Fuss over. His mother fusses over the baby constantly when she comes to visit. Scrape together. I scrape together the money for the trip. Slip by. Deadline for the paper slip by. Deload. Leave surprise for dealt out to the sufferers. Soften up. She softened up the politician by asking him some easy questions first. Level up. Sales at the restaurant rose rapidly at first, then gradually leveled off. Shrivel up. The hot sun caused the grapes to shrivel up. Let down. The team lost 3 matches in a row and let the fans down. Mark out. A cycle lane is marked on the road. Bottom out. The economy will bottom out early next year. Get down to. He decided to get down to learning French. Trim down. We must trim down the unnecessary expenditures. Run off with. He had left his phone on the table and stumbled ran off with it. Puzzle over. I've been puzzling over the problem for more than a week. Put forward. I'd like to put forward some ideas for further discussion. Stem from. Misunderstanding often stems from a lack of information. Shake up. That use shake up the sports word. Spring up. New hotels are springing up in Tokyo. Back down. She backed down in the end and admitted her defeat. Saddle A with B. Japan is saddled with huge budget deficits. Fall back on. Most of the homeless have no family to fall back on. Hold back. I wanted to tell him I love him, but fell back, afraid of being rejected. Lay down. At the camp, we let the children lay down their own rules. Hold off. You can buy one now or hold off until an update is released. Single out. She was singled out for promotion. Kick off. A speech by the Nobel Prize winner will kick off the 3-day long event. Gear up. The delivery company is gearing up for the busy holiday season. Pay off. She is confident that all of her hard work will pay off someday. Part 3. ここまでですね。よいしょ。 それではありがとうございました。ではまた、バイバイ。入っています。ごきげんよう。コメント見ようか。トゥービュースということでありがとうございます。ではまた、バイバイ。空いています。ごきげんよう。それでは、バイチャー。